I'm Mason Mount. You're listening to the London is Blue podcast.
Let's talk about the fact that Mason and Drew both had some really key moments in the dying moments of the end of the first half there. The Mason free kick, which I love that so quickly after that happened, there were him at like 9 or 10 years old side by side with the free kick here, Nick, getting spliced together. Quite wonderful. It was great to see him just jump in and be like, hey, Alonso, I know we're in your wheelhouse or in your territory. I know you did a Sadio Mane flip in front of the box to win that for us, but I'm going to go ahead and take this one.
Yeah, I at first thought the Alonso foul was legit, and then they played it again. I was like, well, maybe not. Maybe not.
I'll be fair. I'll hold my hand up.
Maybe that wasn't exactly the best foul. I think the ref had a tough day too, by the way. I think as a side note on this match, he struggled to understand what a yellow card type of foul was multiple times. Yeah, I mean, Mason smashed it. And I frankly, I think everyone knows that I love a Marcos Alonso free kick. His left foot is an absolute weapon. And the fact that Mason had the confidence to essentially pull rank in that moment that's big. I mean, it's big for him too, because we talked about multiple times this season. Will Mason get his scoring touch back? Will he kind of be the creator again instead of just a huge part of the effort play of Chelsea Football Club? And again, 2 big goals at the end of the season. Another assist today. He's really closed the season well, and I think showed quality that, frankly, some of our other players today did not show. If I'm just being honest, this was a collective. We just need to get over the line by 1 millimeter, and if we're over the line, that's great. Mm-hmm. But it wasn't a pretty performance by any stretch of the imagination.
Obviously, Dan, you talked about it. Single moments of brilliance from these 2 players, and with Mount, Nick, I don't think you can discredit that enough of the whole pulling rank type. I guess what he did, his actions, Marcos Alonso's, he's like, all right, Willian's out. I got this. I'm next in line, right? He's like, hey, this is my thing. And he has a great record to go off of, to justify taking free kicks. Again, he bends it around the wall. Left footer makes sense. For Mason to have so much confidence in himself to just step up and be like, hey, Marcos, you just stand right there. I got this. And then to execute it, that's the stuff that you dream of as well. He came through Cobham, came through the academy. For him to literally put the team on his back and essentially get the goal that locked in top 4, which is the minimum requirement at that club, and he knows that. He absolutely knows that this is an expectation. We're only celebrating because we know the signings that are going to come. We're not celebrating because we got here. I think all of us as fans go, all right, we did the minimum this season, but it needs to be much better next season. And we acknowledge that.
And I don't want to yes, it is the minimum requirement. These are special circumstances though, right? We're going to get into that.
Yeah.
The achievement of getting across the line this year is far different than last year or when we finished as league winners with Conte. This was a completely revamped squad with a player like Mason Mount, who has basically gone end to end in the league over a period of almost a full calendar year, summer break. And he's just done the business. I mean, obviously we've interviewed him, and I think back to those moments because that was at the very beginning of this kind of rise to stardom with Chelsea fans then. And you could see in the interview, I would encourage people to go watch it again on YouTube.
Maybe 2 or 3 times just to really
7
soak it in.
or 8 times if you can. Just help us smash that subscribe button. No, but if you go watch it again, I think you see intent in his eyes, Dan. Yeah. And obviously there were stretches of the season where maybe he didn't play up to his expectations, but man, way to close.
Yeah. It was very important that we just get this one across the line, as you said. And I think Lampard's comments on Mount in the post-match really kind of helped solidify just the whole element of what Mason does. Like, he was asked the question, like, where's Mason go? Can he get better? And Lampard responded, well, yeah, he definitely can get better because he's so young. When a player makes his breakthrough year and plays consistently, people treat them older than they are. You saw his technique on the free kick. And that whole concept of everyone forgetting maybe that Mason Mount is a 21-year-old who's playing his first season in the Premier League at one of the largest clubs, not only in England, but in world football, and the expectation that comes with that. I think Mason, is ultimately going to be relishing the opportunity to play with someone like Timo Werner if we sign Kai Havertz to play with Kai Havertz, and is not afraid of competition in any capacity. And so I think all of that, Brandon, just sets us up for, that we've got a really great young talent in our hands, and he's only going to get better.
Right. Look, there have been many players with with way more experience than Mason Mount in bigger leagues that have come to Chelsea and crumbled. Maybe a Mohamed Salah, maybe a Juan Cuadrado, even a Kevin De Bruyne at the time. Like, he was not up for the challenge. They were too raw. But Mason has that Chelsea DNA in him that he's been preparing for this for 14, 13 years, whatever it is. And he just has been brought up in this pressure of the academy that, hey, these are just the standards of excellence that are at Chelsea and in the academy. Go to the first team, and he's comfortable with that. And for a 21-year-old to be comfortable with that is absolutely wild. And it's great to see. So thank you to Naz from goal.com giving us the stats. Mason Mount versus Wolves, 1 goal, 1 assist, 2 shots, 4 key passes. And I think these are Naz's stats, 2 good crosses, the most by a Chelsea player in each category, which was obviously fantastic. And then, Dan, you had the quotes from Frank, obviously, that just said, of course he's going to get better. And I think he did a really good job of framing it, saying, you all forget that this is his first season in the Premier League and that he's only 21, because the role we've given him is that of a 26, 27-year-old person who's been in the league for a while, and he's not. So anyways, before we move to Giroud, though, I know, Dan, you've been just eating up Marco's tweet that he put out there. So obviously Gate 17 Marco, huge friend of the podcast. This man has a way with words, which makes sense because he runs a Chelsea publishing company, Dan.
In the years to come, the same way Chelsea supporters fondly recall Jesper Grønkar's first pivotal goal in the win over Liverpool in 2003, which helped secure Champions League football and attracted Roman to buy the Blues. We'll be praising Marcus Alonso for that dive against Wolves. He gets you going, thinking it's going to be the Mason Mount praise, and then Nick, he just turns it on you and gets the praise in for Marcos.
Look, Marco probably had some sort of bet that Marcus Alonso would flop in front of the 18-yard box, and somehow there would be a goal score. He is that good at betting. So I think all praise be to Mark Worrell.
Marcos has won Marco a good amount of money in his time at Chelsea. I know that for a fact. So love Marco and everything he's doing.